So hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm just going to be talking about the results that's happened from round 15, the 4 games that we were talking about in the last video. So I'll just mention some stats, I'll mention who won, who lost, and then tonight is round 16. So I'll after that talk about round 16, who's playing who, and so on. So without further ado, let's get into this, hey? So we had round 15 that's just wrapped up last night. So the first game we'll talk about is actually Sydney and Melbourne, which let's just say was a surprising game to watch. Sydney just started well, and yes, Sydney won the game, which was for me very surprising. I thought Melbourne being a top 8 side and look, having a having a win the other day, just like they had just a little win against the Saints. So I thought that Melbourne would come in form, and I thought Melbourne would get the job done. But yeah, as I said in the last video, credit to Sydney. You can't write them off. So Sydney ended up winning that game by 21 points, and to me, I chose the best on ground. You know, my best on ground for them, Petrarca, was absolutely a no-show. But they have written down here that Luke Parker was the best on ground. I think he kicked 2 goals and got 21 disposals. You know, he was my Supercoach captain a couple of weeks ago, so I don't know why I took him off. So then the next game we'll talk about is we'll go the Giants and Carlton, which was played on Thursday afternoon, which was, look, a very, very scrappy game to watch. I'm just going to say that right away. That was an annoying game to watch. You know, the Giants kicked 1 goal 9 to half-time, hadn't kicked a second goal, which was typical Giants this season. I think they've really struggled, and they've started off very slow. Then Carlton came out really well. They were kicking well. They were just getting nice possessions, getting all the possessions at 1 point. But going into three-quarter time, the Blues led by 15, and then the Giants managed to come back. They ended up managed to win by 9, which, yeah, was a bit of a shocking result. And it's happened a couple of times to the Giants. You'd think they've been out of the game, then they've kicked a couple in the last quarter and ended up winning the game, which is absolute surprise to me. So I ended up winning by 9, and I've gone with the man of the match. Jeremy Cameron was appalling. No goals, 10 disposals. I've gone with Nick Haynes to actually be man on. I know there was a couple of who have got more disposals, but, you know, let's see here. He got 21 disposals and he got 8 intercept marks. So that's just unreal. And I've actually just seen, that Parker got 24, not 21. I've mixed them up, sorry. Yeah, but that was 8 intercept marks in a game of footy. To me, he's an elite defender. So I think be wary for him in the future. I think he's going to be an absolute elite player. So then we're going to go to the Lions versus the Pies, which was last night. Which, yeah, was a great game to watch. It was very free-flowing here and there. Collingwood kicked the first goal of the game, and then Brisbane kicked the next few, and it was just back and forth, I thought, goals. You know, a couple of plays that, you know, I thought were like, didn't need to happen. You know, Maynard coming in and absolutely destroying Robertson. No, that's not necessary and not needed in that game. But yeah, as I predicted, I thought the Lions would get up, and they did. They got up by 8 points. So very close game, close contested. It was, just a free-flowing game. So, yeah, I'll give credit to Brisbane. They played some good footy. Pies almost came back and looked like they could have won it, but unfortunately they couldn't get the job done. Which for Collingwood, that loss is, as I was talking about the other day, was detrimental because they're only in 6th spot, and they're almost, I think they're 34 points. I think they're 34, and then the others are like 32, if I'm correct. But I haven't looked at the ladder yet, so don't take me seriously with that. So now let's move on to round 16. So this is going to be a long round. It seems like there's games everywhere. So let's start off with the North versus Port. So North Melbourne take on, Port Adelaide, which, let's just put it out there. It's not going to be a game of footy. I just think Port are going to just run over North Melbourne. North Melbourne don't have anything in the tank. They're not playing good footy. Their forward line's not firing. Ben Brown's been injured. And even when he wasn't firing as much as we used to know what he used to do. So I think Port to win and Port to have a big win. I think this will be a big percentage booster. Then we'll move on to the Sunday game, which is St Kilda versus Hawthorn, which, you think that Saints can get the job done against the Hawks. Like the Hawks' last loss was against the Crows, who sat bottom of the ladder. So they've been okay this year, the Hawks. They've been very inconsistent. They have a couple of wins, you think they're back, and then they lose a couple that they shouldn't lose. So, let's go. Let's say St Kilda to win, and I think St Kilda will win not by a comfortable margin, but enough to keep them in the 8 contention, to put them back up to 6th or 7th. So let's go with them. And I think the man of the match for both of those games that we've seen, I think Jack Scrimshaw for the Hawks. He'll be the best on. He's just looked really good in the defence. He's a born defender, and he's just taking marks, taking intercepts, and he's just such a great reader of where the ball's going. So I think Jack Scrimshaw for that. Yeah, Charlie Dixon for Port Adelaide. I just think he's in form. He's kicking well. He's taking strong marks, very contested marks as well. Not hard and not easy. So then we've got the Cats and Essendon, which will be, I don't know with Essendon. Essendon are a side that's very inconsistent. They can win the games you don't expect them to win, but then they lose the games you really expect them to win. Look, I'm going to go with the Cats. I just think the Cats are in form. Dangerfield's played some good footy. You know, Hawkins this year has just been, just unreal. He's just taking great marks. I feel like he's back to his old best when he was a bit younger, and I think he's moving better too. I just think and moving around the ground freely. So I think Cats to get the job done against Essendon. I just think Essendon, they're coming off the last couple of losses and some big losses. So, let's lock in the Cats. Then we've got the Bulldogs versus Eagles, which I think that will be a great game. That's almost, for me, going to be the game of the round. You know, you've got the Bulldogs sitting outside the 8, and then you've got Eagles, which are inside. And Eagles have had a great couple of games lately. Their forward lines are dominating. But Kennedy went down last week, so I don't know if he'll get up. The teams haven't been released, so that will be interesting to see if Kennedy can get up and firing. And then the Dogs, very inconsistent this year. They win a couple, they lose a couple, and they lose the games you don't think they would. So I'm going to go with the Eagles, considering Eagles are fighting for top 4 and fighting for top 2, I even think. So I'm going to lock in the Eagles for that. Best on ground for both those games I've just spoken about, I'm going to go with, Tom Hawkins for Essendon. And it's a tough one with the Eagles. I might go with Dom Sheed. I'll give him a chance. I just think he's been good in the midfield. He's had another good season. So we're going to lock in Dom Sheed. Now the next is Melbourne and Freo. I think for Melbourne, this is a danger game, because Fremantle have shown that they can play some good footy. Not the best footy you ever see, but... So, look, Melbourne, they've come off a loss, which you think they should have won, and I just think Fremantle will be too good for Melbourne. So I might go Fremantle with this one, which is a tough call, but, Melbourne let me down last week, and I just think Fremantle, if they can beat Melbourne, I almost think Melbourne's finals chances are almost out. So, and best on ground for that, that's a tough one, because I don't really know many of the players. I might go Mitch Brown if he's selected for Melbourne to have best game. I went Petrarca last time, but he just let me down completely. Then the next game, which is a Tuesday game, which is my Giants take on the Crows. So, look, you'd say the Giants should get the job done, but it's a danger game for the Giants, considering how awful we've been kicking in front of goal lately. So, and the Crows are on a high. They came off a win against Melbourne, which you wouldn't. Not Melbourne, sorry. They came off a win against Hawks, which Hawks were going to be a good side. So, look, I'm going to go with the Giants to do it, but I think be wary of the Crows. I think they're going to have to do something, and I think they will. Best on ground, I'm going to lock in Nick Haynes again. I just think he's just been unreal. He's just kicking well. His efficiency is great, and he's just disposals, and he's just got that, when he gets it, he doesn't feel the pressure, just glides past defenders and attackers with ease. So we're going to lock in the Giants for that. And then we've got on the Tuesday, which will be a good game actually, which is the Carlton versus the Swans. So I actually think that will be a very, very good game of footy. They're both teams that are up and coming. The Swans have been pretty poor this year, but they're coming off a win against Melbourne. So I think they've got a bit to play for now, and to try and get themselves a little bit up that ladder and try and get them closer to the 8. They won't make the 8. I'm going to put it out there right now, but at least get themselves up there. So I think, yeah, Carlton, I don't know really who to go for. I'm trying, it's just, look, I think Carlton to win. I'm going to go Carlton because they played well against the Giants. Their midfield's good. Their forward line needs a bit of a tweaking, and they need someone in that midfield to help Cripps. I just think he's the only man there that's good enough to do anything. So yeah, let's lock in. I think Carlton, and best on ground's tough. It's just look. I'm going to go Luke Parker, even though I've gone for Carlton to win. I'm going to go Luke Parker best on. Yeah, kick 2 goals, 2 goals against Melbourne, and got the 24 disposals. So I think he'll have another great game. And then to finish off that round, it's the Lions take on the Suns, which will be a good game. You've got the Lions they've won the last four in a row, so they're going to go for 5. And I think they're going to be too strong. Like, I know the Suns are a good organisation, a good team in general, but I just think that the Lions, they have the talent, and yeah, they're going to do something. Like, I went with Eric Hipwood last time for my best on, and he kicked 1 goal, 10 disposals, so it wasn't that bad. But yeah, look, not the best game you ever see from him. So best on ground, I'm going to go with the defender of the Suns and say Sam Collins. I just think he's gonna do something for them. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Lions. Lions to win, but Sam Collins to get that best on ground. And then we go to the buys. There's 2 teams this week with the buy. You can say it's the best buy we'll have because it's Richmond and Collingwood, which are not playing, which is a dream. You never thought we'd actually get to see that Richmond and Collingwood are not playing. So you've got Richmond, which are coming off a win. They've had a nice win, so which is good for them. You know, they're sitting in top 2, so that's very, very good for them. You just think they're going to be hard to beat this year. But look, with the problem they're having as well is with their COVID problems. You know, they've just had 2 players be sent home, fined, and banned for 10 matches. So they've had a lot of breaches lately. You know, you can say controversies with Lynch just being over dramatic about just with hitting people and just being just over aggressive. You know, you've got now this. You've got this problem with these 2 players with Sydney Stack, and I just can't remember the other guy's name, at 3 a.m. in a kebab store, being sent home, and then you've got the dive, So they're having real trouble when it comes to all the issues surrounding, what's going on in their club, which it's not good. Some of the stuff you're hearing shouldn't be done, but look, I still think they're a dominant force. They should get to the grand final. I just think they're going to be too strong again. And then, you've got Collingwood, I don't know about Collingwood. They're a very inconsistent team. I keep saying everyone's inconsistent, but it's true. AFL changes from week to week. So look, you've got Collingwood. Didn't play the best game last night. They haven't played some good footy lately. Like, yes, they're getting the job done. They've got a great elite midfield, but their midfield is just, to me, sometimes selfish. Degoe is one hell of a player. But he is just, to me, one of the selfish players in this game. Like, he wants to kick all the goals and celebrate. So, look, I think Collingwood, I think they'll make the finals, but I just don't think they'll get to the grand final this year. They're just not as good as they have been. And I think the fact is, I don't think they're that good. They're not as good as they were. They're coming off in 2018 losing a grand final when they led pretty much most of the game. And then, last year losing to the Giants in the prelim by 3, I think it's really just shattered their confidence, and they just don't think they can do it much anymore. So they're the 2 buys. That's the end of the round 16. So I don't really have much else to talk about on the footy front. There's going to be some great games, as you can see through there. You've got some games that are going to decide the 8. The next few weeks are just going to be mental when it comes to who's going to win and who's going to get to the 8 and who's going to make top 4. So that's pretty much all I've got for AFL. You've got the Premier League, which is coming up in the next week. So next weekend, it's the first round of the Premier League, the Championship, League Ones, League Two. They're all starting again soon, which will be a good contest. I haven't really written anything down for who's playing each other and that. But there's basketball going on at the moment, so that's pretty interesting to watch. It's good to see that the Lakers are playing some good basketball. And then, the game yesterday, I'm just trying to think who it was. I think it was Toronto Raptors take on the Celtics. I think it was, or it was that, or it was, Toronto Raptors. And, man, I shot after a buzzer beater, it doesn't get any better than that to make it 2-1. So now they've got a chance to equal the series. So yeah, interesting. So the basketball's been good, soccer's kept returning, and the AFL's been pretty good to watch. There's been some teams that you just are very disappointing in the AFL. So you've got like Adelaide, North, and you think Adelaide have been poor lately, but you just wouldn't think about it because in 2017 they were in the flag and you thought they had a chance and they just didn't show up on the day. But yeah, so that's all I've got in this video. I really appreciate watching. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. I'm just trying to grow this channel a little bit and just have some fun and enjoying talking about something I'm passionate about, which is sport. So hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.